Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Francis Oyima, Edet, coming to live from the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Federal government to lift 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. Akwa Ibom State kicks off series of pre-enrollment sensitization activities for state health insurance scheme. Plus, Japan to release treated water moment. Many thanks for joining us. We begin this afternoon from the national scene where the newly appointed Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Beta Edu, has expressed the federal government's commitment to lift 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. Edu disclosed this when she resumed office in Abuja and held maiden meetings with the chief executive officers of the agencies under the ministry. She assured Nigerians of her determination to ensure transparency and accountability during her tenure as minister. The humanitarian minister explained that the ministry will achieve the target through different interventions and initiatives aimed at lifting millions of Nigerians out of poverty. And while the newly installed Minister for Information and National Orientation, Idris Mohammed, has assured the staff of the ministry and various stakeholders that his tenure will have a ministry that is open and accountable to Nigerians. He made the comment following the inauguration of 45 confirmed ministers designate yesterday at the conference center of the State House in Abuja. Idris revealed that the national orientation will form the core of the ministry's mandate in addition to information dissemination, cautioning Nigerians against spreading fake news and urging members of the press to cross-check their information before dissemination. In the meantime, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has sought the support and cooperation of the paramilitary agencies which are under the supervision of his ministry. The paramilitary agencies under the ministry include the Nigerian Correctional Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Federal Fire Service, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Tunji-Ojo, who was one of the ministers appointed by President Bola Tinubu and sworn in, held a maiden meeting shortly after the swearing-in ceremony. The minister called for synergy among the paramilitary service chiefs, charging them to be up and doing in their respective agencies. From the Green Chambers now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has asked the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, to consider road investment funds to accelerate the development of infrastructure in Nigeria. The Deputy Speaker stated this while delivering a goodwill message at a reception held in honor of the former governor. Said the Road Investment Fund will prove an alternative means of funding roads and other infrastructure. He noted that in the face of financial constraint, the government must consider leveraging private funds through public-private partnerships. Away from that, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has said that it has begun a process that would eliminate duplication and wastage and put an end to the era of working at cross purposes with state governors in that region. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of NDDC, Samuel Obuku, made this known in his address during the forum of the 2024 Budgets of Reconstruction Conference in Akwa Ibom State. He said the stakeholders forum was aimed at providing a platform for achieving an effective budgeting system in line with the Renewed Hope project of the federal government. In a separate development, the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has said that all shipping companies operating within Nigeria's territorial waters have been given December 31st, 2023 deadline to settle any outstanding tax returns. The deadline was contained in a public statement issued and signed by Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), Mohammed Nami. The order came after two previous statements issued by the agency in June and December 2021. The two earlier directives outlined the basis of taxation for international shipping lines and urged them to sort out their tax responsibilities within 3 months. The FIRS stated that if any shipping companies fail to comply with the deadline, the agency will work with relevant security agencies to prosecute defaulters. Embarking in a strategic move to provide equitable and affordable healthcare services, the Akwa Ibom State government has kicked off a series of pre-enrollment sensitization activities for a state health insurance scheme. Interacting with newsmen in Uyo, the state capital, the executive secretary of Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Igbemi, stated that the state's health insurance agency, established under the leadership of the immediate past Governor Demi Manuel, is a social security network designed to provide essential health services to residents through token contributions at regular intervals. He appreciated the unwavering commitment of Governor Minor to the welfare of Akwa Ibomites, as it has paved the way for this significant initiative, adding that the health insurance scheme underscores its dedication to achieving universal health coverage. Also speaking, the Director of National Health Insurance Authority, Uyo, Williams Ebikubo, said that the scheme covers various sectors including the formal sector, public and organized private sectors, informal sector, community-based health insurance, and educational institutions, vulnerable groups, and adoption cases, stressing that the law encompasses all levels of care with a strong emphasis on primary health care as the first level of care.
I want to specifically thank our beloved governor, His Excellency Pastor Umo Obasieno, who is so passionate about the welfare of Akwa Ibomites. Health insurance is a social security network that guarantees the provision of needed health services to persons on the payment of token contribution at regular intervals. The agency is established with a mandate to manage and to regulate the health insurance scheme for all residents of Akwa Ibom State, to ensure that all residents of Akwa Ibom State have access to efficient and effective healthcare services, to reduce catastrophic health expenditure by pooling funds for strategic healthcare purchasing.
To ensure that every Nigerian has access to care, aside from public servants. Because, I mean, the thought is that it's only public servants that have access to care because they have money, because they can pay. But that's not the focus. Even those that cannot pay should have access to care, but somebody has to pay for them. The services don't just stop at just primary care, even secondary care, even up to procedures, cesarean sections, they will not pay. Now, I'm speaking to the BATPA program itself, all right? All right, so yeah, people at the hinterland will not pay for.
In Africa, the Central African Republic's top court has approved the outcome of the July referendum that increases the length of a presidential term to 7 years, that allows the president to run for office as many times as possible. The court declared that an overwhelming majority of 95% approved the vote and turnout as just above 57%. The new law creates an office of a vice president appointed by the president and a unicameral parliament, doing away with the Senate. Senegal authorities have said that 38 supervisors from the boat tragedy off Cape Verde have returned to the military camp. Authorities said the survivors were among the 101 people who set out for the journey on 10 July trying to reach Spain's Canary Islands. According to them, more than 60 people, mostly men from the fishing town of Fars Boyer and the surrounding area, are feared dead after their boat drifted at sea for over a month. On the foreign scene, Japan authorities have said that the country will start releasing treated radioactive materials. The decision comes weeks after the UN's nuclear watchdog approved the plan. The Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said releasing the water is a necessary step in the lengthy and costly process of decommissioning the plant, which sits on the country's east coast, about 220 kilometers northeast of the capital, Tokyo. Reports say 1.34 million tons of water, enough to fill 500 Olympic-sized pools, have accumulated since the 2011 tsunami destroyed the plant. Still on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he will turn himself in on Thursday in Georgia to face racketeering or other charges stemming from his bid to overturn the 2020 election. Reports say Trump and the 18 other co-defendants in the landmark case have until noon on Friday to turn themselves in to the authorities in Georgia to be booked. Recall that the judge in the case earlier approved a $200,000 bond for Trump in the racketeering case filed against him in the southern states. And still to come in the news, Belgium winger Jeremy Doku to join Manchester City from Rennes for €55. Just stay with us. Thanks for staying with us, and now to complete the rest of the news stories. On the business news, the Minister of Steel Development, Shaibu Audu, has stressed the need to resuscitate the Jakarta Steel Company. Audu affirmed his commitment to restoring the moribund steel plant during a press briefing in Abuja. According to him, he will set a roadmap for the development of steel sector, aggressively pursue the completion of Jakarta Steel, and enact required bills to regulate the steel sector, among others. He further disclosed that the creation of the new ministry underscored President Bola Tinubu's mandate in pursuing the nation's overall development. Still in business, the organizers of the Nigerian Marketing Awards have said that this year's edition of the event would focus on how to innovatively move the industry forward. The convener of the event, Anthony Agenome, while speaking at a press conference in Lagos, said this year's edition, themed Elevate, Innovate, Inspire, According to him, the theme encapsulates pushing the boundaries of what is possible in a world that thrives on creativity and ingenuity in the current challenging business environment. Public health practitioners and students have shown that having an undetectable viral load reduces the risk of human immunodeficiency virus. This stress that taking medicines as prescribed or medication adherence when it comes to HIV antiretroviral therapy, which would help as well as keeping an undetectable viral load, could make HIV transmission to loved ones, children, and sex partners less possible. According to WHO, keeping an undetectable viral load is the best way to stay healthy and protect others from getting infected. Still in health, the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives Nurses have appealed to the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, to ensure adequate investment in manpower and infrastructure to transform Nigeria's health sector. The Secretary of ANNM Lagos Zone, Toba Odumosu, made the appeal in an interview with newsmen in Lagos. He also urged the minister to ensure that budgetary allocation to the health sector align with the 15% Abuja Declaration backed. According to Odumosu, the health sector has been grossly underfunded for years, leading to immigration of healthcare workers. In sports, Manchester City have agreed to sign Belgium winger Jeremy Doku from Reims in a deal worth £54.4 million. The 21-year-old has scored 12 goals in 92 appearances for the League One side. Doku is poised to become City's third major signing of the summer after Mato Kovacic from Chelsea for £25 million and Josko Vardiol from RB Leipzig for £77 million. Still in sports, former French forward Thierry Henry has been appointed coach of the country's under-21 on a 2-year contract. The Arsenal legend, who helped France win the World Cup on home soil in 1998, succeeds Sylvain Ripoli. Henry, aged 46, has had 2 spells as assistant coach with Belgium and to manage Monaco and Montreal Impact. He will lead a French under-23 side at the 2024 Paris Olympics and the under-21 bid to qualify for the European Championship in 2025. On our entertainment news, Trace has released the nomination list for its inaugural Trace Award and Festival. The award is set to showcase Africa's excellence and diversity of Afrocentric music in genres such as Afrobeat, dancehall, hip-hop, Afropop, ballads, Amapiano, and Zougs, among others. The award, which will take place on October 21st in Kigali, Rwanda, is set to attract creatives from all over the world to engage in a rich cross-cultural pollination in the festival that will take place alongside the award. Superstars across Africa, including Nigerian singers Asake, Davido, Burna Boy, and Wizkid, the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, and South America will compete in 22 award categories, and winners will take home the unique Trace Awards trophies. Still on entertainment, veteran Fuji musician Adewale Ayuba has encouraged Fuji musicians to intensify efforts at producing more singles and albums. Ayuba said he will be releasing his new single, Uncommon, on August 27. A Fuji musician said this was necessary as African music had begun to gain recognition in the Grammy and other global awards. He urged other Fuji musicians to focus on grooming their music and not to imitate Western music. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Francis Oyima, edit. Many thanks for being there, and do enjoy the rest of your day.